Russell Scott from ScottCarvings.com, and I am going to show you how to carve another brand new rough out. It's a Santa rough out, holding both a tree and a stack of presents. And so, like everything else, I want to get started with getting into taking a pencil and finding where all the creases are. Here's the presents, and here's the hand is right here with the thumb coming around, holding the presents right here and here. And what's going to happen is his beard is going to go over the presents. So the presents are still coming up here. But that's his beard. Kind of a little bit of cutesy to it. This one is bent or tilted to the side a bit. Now this one here, you can't see the cheeks very well. We'll leave that to last, or when it's time to do the face. And there's the fur. Now this is going to come down. Something's not right here. I think I had him walking, but I wonder if Sid's kind of goofed up here. He's going to have a foot sticking out, but I guess not. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't be blaming Sid. Okay, then there's going to be oops. Okay, that's, yeah, there it is right there. I can see it. Where the belt buckle is. It's a little at an angle. Alright. Coming around. And the beard's going to come up like this. Now for the hair, or not the hair, the head, pardon me. As I see it's here. Again, I took a piece that had some knots in it. It's not any indication that this is what you're going to get. And I know, like I said, I'll put these in for now. Now for the presents, there's a big one. And there's a medium-sized one. And the third one is covered. And we'll figure them out as we go. Oops. Okay, now here you can come around and very good. Let's take the V tool and get started. My V tool. Started down here. Oh, I forgot to turn my yellow light on here. There we go. That's a little better. Easier on the eyes. Sorry about that. There's a tuft there. Just make sure I don't get into the presents. I forgot this. got a little extra twist to it. Now I have finished doing the V-tooling, penciling, V-tooling, taking the knife, just simply, that's all I did, was just take the fur off. And well, at least 99 and 44% of it. And I did get a little carried away, though, I'm sorry, about doing the foot. And in order to do the foot, is I just pencil in and took the V tool. That's when I got it done. I thought, oh, so slow down, I got a video to make. And so I went around and getting and then I just took the knife and just took all of this out and making a foot come out just a little bit, and you want to cut this just a little bit of this off. And then I wanted to get in there deep because I wanted the to go in this angle, because I wanted to get the impression that this foot has been kicked out. Now you can open this up as much as you want with a lot of undercutting, and that brings that out more. Get out of there. And I'll be cleaning that up a little later. So that's what I did there. Another thing I started in, that once you get the markings off from the bit, is you start putting the creases in, putting in those dark shadows in. See, when you put those dark shadows in there, you can see the separation. It's really interesting. I did slip. It's up to you. And I took a good hunk off by mistake of the belt because I wanted that belt to come out. And right where this particular piece, you have to watch where that grain goes. You think you got it, you put your knife on there and you push and snap. And that's starting to bug me. The thing I need to do is to get my, not that. That wasn't a tool, that was actually it's a fingernail clipper. But a tool falling on metal. so it's okay. So this is a number 5, my wide 5, 25 mils. Kind of whatever it takes to get. Boy, I got better light here. I did this last night with the simple bulb, lamp and bulb. Wow, I can see a lot that I missed. Woohoo! Oh, I did put this in here, this crease. Now the reason why, like I said in my other videos, is that I like to put that crease in, even though that it's supposed to be a detail. But I like to put it in as early as possible when dealing with the arm, is because that helps me round. I think I took a little too much off this present here. And that's what I did also with the present. You'll notice the three-dimensionality. Trying to make each one different from the next. I did that. Now this one is a little off. I made sure I put in and kept a belt buckle. I got the belt on the other side. Clean this a little bit more. Now in the creasing, like I said, not creasing, but the forming these shadows. Like this is about 20 degrees, 10 or 20 degrees one way, 10 or 20 degrees the other way. Same here. So go all the way around and find all of these. Make sure whatever carving you make, you got, when it's, especially if it separates, right here, it does separate because you got the mitt, and then you got the cuff there. So you want to make sure that that's nice and separated. Same with the tree stump here. Now if he's holding onto the tree like this, then the thumb is missing. But we want to round it a little bit. And there's shaping and rounding. Make sure the stump is round and separated. Now I want to push back on the cuff, because if that wooden stump is pushed on the cuff, the stump will win. Now again, I want to put now this one here is kind of funny. I want you to watch for this. Go like about here. You get the tendency to think, oh, there's the elbow there because there's the bend. Don't do that, because the way his arm kind of comes down almost straight. So we want to move the elbow crease over. Got a lot of nose itch here. Now I want to continue with this on a little bit. Again, let's put that shadow in there, shadow crease. What would we call that? That's not so much a crease, but around the belt a little bit. Come down here. Now while I'm on the back, speaking of creases, I want to put this one crease here while we're here. It's really interesting, and right here in that here we just practically cleaned. All we did was just V-tooled and cleaned the markings of the fur off, if you will. And we are like almost done. Oh, we got the face. And now I want to do the tree. Next, where did we leave off here? Make a good crease here. And around this way. Now I have this little bit of a twist here with the tree. Now, this is something that bothered me here, because see, if this comes up here, and then there's this that come down here. Now this is going to be a bit difficult because now you're going to be doing some tight stuff here. Might as well do it now before we do the tree. Smaller V. Gonna get in there. I get my tiny V in there. Let's get that shadow in there. Shadow crease, shadow cuts. I think I better get my little, I hate to use my detailing V, but I do need that to be separated, and see if I can clean some of that out. And when that is painted, now one of the things is most of the time I paint my go-bys Santas red, the old standard. But you can color them any color. Go on the internet, holy smokes, there's just tons of different Santas. Not only Santas, but old world Santas and so on. Different colors. Take my little V here just so I can separate. One example I have, I call him the Green Santa. And if you were to get that Santa, you don't have to paint him green. I was thinking about making another sample of him in red. I just wonder if people think that, oh, I don't want a green Santa. Well, just showing you that, I'm showing you that you can paint these in different colors. And even the red, it could be a different color. I'm using a burnt sienna. It's a brownish red, and it gives it an antique look, like you know, Grandma from Grandma's attic. And she bought it brand new, and nice when it was brand new, but it's been sitting in our attic for decades, and so therefore the nice bright red becomes discolorated. Is that a word, discolorated? And that's why you kind of, when I antique these, it was once clean. And then as time gone on, I gotta get dirtied up. And I'll just define this while I'm here. Still quite a bit of cleaning here and there. But anywho, all right. Again, put a little crease around. Here's the thumb. This is just a little bit of opening here, so it shows some realism. Now, the hand, I got the hand bigger than I thought. I mean, it's always easier to remove. And I thought either that or maybe I got it right and the router bit just couldn't pick that up, one of the two. We gotta make sure we keep my end. Yeah. Keep that buckle. There. Again, more cleaning up later. And I also noticed while doing this is we got this right here to open up. A lot of this and that and this. Pieces coming off. Okay, I just want to get to some of the main stuff here. Put a little crease here. Now, if we put a little crease, you want to be careful. Or crease, a little bend, or whatever you want to call a hole. So you keep the present. Now, as for the present, I'll talk about it. Putting in, you want to put in ribbons and ribbons. You can't put in bows. Well, if you want on the side, if you want to add, you could either pencil, V-tool, and then cut out the ribbon where it's sticking up and the box is down. So if you, let's say you did a ribbon here, then you would cut the box down here, so the ribbon would stay up. Or you can just paint it. I'm going to prefer to paint it on this. Maybe since this is going to be a go by, I think I better carve it in. I'll carve it in. A lot of times if I do really quick, cheap Santas or something, I would not. Let's do that. And if we do that, clean this a little bit, because I do want to get to the tree. I need to take another swizzle here. One other thing I want to add, I didn't want to, I mean, it's out of camera shot, but today is the first time, or I started it yesterday, and today's the first time that I got a little band here has been getting the tennis elbow. And putting this band on, get it from the pharmacy, it does feel, I do have more control, more power, and less pain. So I just want to say, if you're starting to get tennis elbow or whatever, get that in so it don't get worse. It's not too, after a while it gets kind of, when you got something on you, it does get uncomfortable and you just want to take it off for a while, especially here in the summertime. But most of the time it's when I just want to do carving. Okay, I want a little bit of rounding here too, is what I was aiming for. Oops. And still taking the marks off. All right, let's do that. Let's put we'll make the big one here the most ribbon, because it's the most showy. How wide do you want that ribbon? And so, then I'll do a little bit of this. Are we watching? And it's under the assumption that the package is under his arm. Is a reason why you can't see the rest, and then therefore same thing here. How's that? This one here, we can have, I've done this before. Let's see how this is going to work. And the reason why I want to do it kind of the funky way here is that then this one here will just have one of these. And I want a little thinner. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Where's my V? Make sure my V is clean. Let's put this here. Okay, I will want to have this ribbon up top. So again, I'm taking the V tool, which this tip is up and this is on the side. Oops, I think I may have got into it. Yes, I did. I got into the ribbon. I have to make it a little thinner then. Then this will be in the bottom. Side. I always hesitate on going to the edge because it'll chip. And of course that's erased. Same here. Now this time I want the side is on top, and the up and down is in the back, for the sake of variety. You could have the same thing. Now I want to do this, make sure I don't mindlessly. You should do that too, because I've done that mindlessly. I've grabbed a whole and thought, oh, I forgot that, and no, I forgot that was a no-no. No, this ribbon here, this is the box, this is the ribbon. Box ribbon. Now this one you can have red and white. I like to have this one, if you paint it, I was thinking of being red and white because it has that candy cane look. And since, here's the deal, another reason why I want this one red and white is because this is going to be a red Santa. And I want to cover, so this will probably be, I'll think about it later, but green and, sometimes Lynn likes to paint it green and yellow as in gold, and it turns out to be Green Bay Packer colors. You know, that's the color of your football team. But no, I want it, okay, this is the ribbon. No, this is the ribbon, yeah, so it's this way. I'm going to cut into the box. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that one. Maybe this one's like purple and yellow, I don't know. Or dark blue and white is another one of my favorite. Dark blue and white, and you take a toothpick and you dip it into white, out of the bottle white, and you stipple that dark midnight blue like it's a snowy night. Sometimes Lynn likes to really elaborate and put like a snowman, even Santa Claus, little images, characters. Okay, we'll start from the top over here. A little bit, about 10 degrees away. 10 degrees away from the ribbon, because it is the box that's going to be cut. And recently I was thinking, well, I'll have them carry one of those. Now I got those gift bags. Of course, I like gift bags because you can just take what you're going to give, throw in a little, the tissue paper, there you are. Put a little tape on the top, there it is. Okay, like I said, this is okay. This is the ribbon, so away. And so away. Away from the ribbon. I'm glad I did this. I mean, it is better than to do it this way than to just paint. I mean, that is true. Just a little bit to show. You know, it gives it more showy. Okay, away from the ribbon. Away from the ribbon. And that's for a little detailing to decide. Same here. Oops, don't get in that ribbon. It's already thinned out as it don't want it to be. Now we're gonna cut all of this. Same on this side. Both the bottom ribbon and the box is lower than the top ribbon. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. Whoops. Put the crease in first. Like I said, 10 degrees away from the ribbon. Now it's a matter of these little 4 boxes. I'm going to even this out a little bit. I wonder if I did I do that? Yes, I did. Put that in there. Now I'm going to put a little bit of this in here to make sure that ribbon does go all the way around. And again, I'll fix that to get that a little better and cleaner when I do my pickings. Okay, we got this. Now we're going to leave that. Well, here, let's do this. That's while we're at it. Like I said, we want to keep these little creases in. And we'll put a little dent. I put a little bit of dent in it, so it gives the impression that the ribbon has come to an end, but you don't have to paint the box under there. Now this one here only has 2 boxes to oops, 10 degrees this way, 10 degrees that way. Let's do this and this. We come up. Oops, careful about prying. Now I want to clean this or straighten this up just a little bit because it can bend a little bit. Yeah, I'm glad I did that. It does add a little more. In review, drew in the ribbons that I wanted. Whatever was sticking up, go 10 degrees one way, 10 degrees the other. And I'm going to have to, like I said, clean up. I don't want to waste too much of your time. You can take a V. We'll clean some of that up. I prefer to use a knife, but a V, at least to clean some of that off. Okay. All right, let's continue on to the tree. Now I have this video, but I'll do it again. I have this video on how to do the tree. See, can I zoom? Come on. Don't hurt yourself now. I'll do a little quickie here. What I do is I take my pencil. Let's do some V's. Now what's going to happen, I want you to be consciously aware of what you're doing here. And we're doing some random V's. Because what's going to happen is we're going to connect to there. So when you put V's somewhere, think about that. But I want random V's. I don't want them to be in a row. You can have them in a row if you want. You can have them any way, which way you want. In any size. And then I might do something like this. And like that. That continues on. I have a V here. Oops. Bring it over this way. Then that means this will hit here. Now is that too big? I don't know. Is that too big? Let's bring it here. Let's see, is this going to work? This eraser? Erasers. I don't have my pink pearl handy. Now if I were to have a V up here, that'll go here. Now we can have this come together here. And I can even continue on if you want. As random as you can make it, or you can put it all in order too. If I did this, oh wait a minute, if I did this, who's going to do what? So then what I could, no, oh yeah, here. If I did this, then we can go here. And I might do something like, let's pretend there's a V in there somewhere. And I don't know if you want one at the tip. See, I got that little thing there, so I'm going to have to, if I do it, I'm going to have to do it right here. And the problem is how is that going to connect? Well, the heck with it. Just have it as is. Good enough. There. With the exception of this here. Now these lines to me are suggestive. In other words, as you're cutting in, you can change your mind. And I'm going to use a V to start with now again. The upper part this way, therefore this fin is going up and this fin is going down or back and in reverse. Now you can go straight. What we're going to do after this is we're going to take a knife and clean it, and maybe even go deeper. So you can use the knife right away instead of this, but it is much safer and better because this is a cylinder here, almost cone. It's round, and what's going to happen is if you use a knife on a cone / cylinder, then you may slip and snap. Or chisel, you're still okay. Now, as mentioning with the elbow brace I got on right now, I can feel a little bit of pressure, but if I didn't have it on, I'd be in pain right now. Ooh, I can feel it, but not as much pain. Now you could also do this. Take just a round. What would that be about? Where's my ruler? Well, this particular, you can make it any size you want. What am I saying? This is about 1.25 inch piece of wood, cut it into a cone, round it off, and do something like this. Drill a hole, and you can have the stick come down or the stump come down, and then you would drill a hole in another Santa where he's holding and shove it in there. So there's a little extra. In fact, some of my other Santas that I've been carving, demonstrating and all that. Carving, demonstrating. And also I have my other Santas in pattern books. I also have the free patterns that are, if you go down again this way to the description right away, you get free patterns if you sign up. And if you sign up to my email, where I email somewhat regularly, and there I will have my list of other free, especially if you're just brand new, you got a whole lot of free patents in front of you here if you sign up, because I try to put it all in one. What I do is occasionally I put a free pattern up when I do a email blast. You know, when I give you something, I just don't want you to get nothing with me going blabbing on and this and that. But at least you get some. Ooh, careful. Ooh, ooh. And I have now got it to the point where you can download last year's, actually 2 years ago. Is it 2 years ago? And then the year before, all in one long book. They're all free patents. But I also have books on patterns too. So I hope you would look at my scottcarvings.com site where I have books in spiral. And then if you want to really keep that very professional look, I have all of mine on Amazon. So you can have your, in that regular book bound glue or whatever you call that. So I have that on Amazon too. Now the ones on Amazon are made to order. It's called print on demand. So in other words, they do not have it in stock. It's that when you purchase the book, they will assemble it. And it could take, about maybe a couple weeks before it gets to you. So if you order it, or you want to order it, I mean, if this isn't like close to Christmas time and hurry up and get it out, it'll be good for Christmas next year. One of the things I forgot to mention on this tree, now I'm making it very elaborate. I don't have a piece of wood handy. Oh, I do. I need to stretch here. This is it's almost a tree. If you don't want to get too elaborate on what I'm doing here, what I have done, in fact, it's almost darn close to what I got here. It's almost done. Is you put these, I like the word that Harley Refsaw used, facets. And he uses facets. And you can either use long facets, short facets like this. See how easy it is that if I had a smaller, Santa, I could have cut here and use that. I've done that before. It made a Christmas tree this size, or evergreen. You did it a little dents. There you go. Put the dents in, call it good. Ship it good. like that. I've done that before. But here I want to give it an extra. Especially this being a go by, I want to make sure it is really good. Instead of saying, oh, you can put all these great grand things in there and then, well, no, there are other ways, maybe even grander than what I got here. This is just a nice, simple, one of the carvers that's out there. He carves in bark of these trees, and that's, I am bad with names. He's going to be mad if I don't remember his name because my mind is slipping. And he's the bark carver. He's got a couple of books out. I'll think about it when I'm carving here. But he does excellent trees. So some of you are hollering his name right now. It's hard for me, sometimes it's hard for me to chew gum, walk and think at the same time. That's why I think I'm carving here. Rick Jensen, that's his name. He's got somewhere, I think one of the wood carvers illustrated. He has one. I have every wood carver illustrated magazine, and I would like to replace that with the disc. I mean, I got that downstairs on a shelf, kind of sitting there. I'd rather have a DVD sitting there whenever I want it. I think I am done, or not done. Now it depends on how far you want to go. I mean, there's some cleaning up because of the pencil, but I've done this. Let's demonstrate on this thing here. I'm going to cut here and put a nice deep chip. Remember I was talking about shadows, more shadows the better. There's a chip. Deep shadow. Deep shadow. Deep shadow. Let's do a couple more. And then there's one more. I do, you can do more. So you get that. Because when you look at an evergreen tree, there's more dark than there is green. Well, green is on the outside because you look inside the tree and it's dark. It's scary and spooky. Not scary. Let's go. And of course, there's got to be some cleaning. Oh boy, that's a lot of. It's kind of hard for me to do this in video at the same time. All right, one more, just one more. And see, it gives that, it's starting to give it a lot of depth. And you can go as deep as you want and wide as you want. Then one more thing before I go with the tree is, let's put those facets in. Tip of the knife, tip of the knife. Make sure it's sharp. I like to leave that tip alone. You might want, if you want to go underneath the tip, and try to create, if I can, where the tip comes out. Let's do it again. I want to do it right here, if I want to. And it kind of brings that tip out. If I want to go that far. Of course, there's still some cleaning up to do. I'm going to stop there instead of showing you going all the way around, but at least get those facets in there. Look at that. I mean, I'm sure if you go somewhere, somebody else, or maybe even you, got something even better than that, but it's better than just leaving it as a cone and painting it. Now what I do is I paint that green, paint it green, and then I come back and I have it, it's like a true blue, dark blue. You put that dark blue in there, and then wet it down with the blue. You want green, and in other words, 99% green and that 1% blue, because you notice a lot of trees, especially evergreens, just have that blue texture. So it's more like 90% green and 10% blue. So you do it once with green, get some dark, you get the dark blue in there and you leave that in there. And you just try to get the rest out. So it's dark blue, and then it gets into a 90% green, 10% blue. And it really pops. And then I take the dry brush of white. And it's got to be a horsehair dry brush. And usually I do that to all my sand, especially if he's outside. I'll do that, but it's very light. But when it comes to the tree, I like to add a lot more heavier white for the tree. And that just pops. Love it. That's one thing I like about trees is if you do it right, it just pops out. Now, one of the things before I go, I want to round this a little bit. Oh boy, I think the reason why I'm having troubles is kind of easy because you guys are watching. That's why you're looking at me. And because I'm holding this at an angle away from my body. And even though I got glasses on, and it's still, let's put a little bit of this like away from it. And I'll do that all the way down, come around this, especially this side, because this is the front. And careful you don't hit that nose again like I did. Speaking to which, I had to scratch. One here too, this has got to go in. See, when you get some holes in there, you get some nice shadowing in there. And you'll come back again after you do the beard and give the tip or give the tree one last look. But I'm going to leave it here. Like I said, it will be, I will finish it and I'll do the same thing all the way around. Maybe a little extra corner here, because that would be almost the same as this here, in a way. Where's my brush? Look at that. Actually, look at that part. There we go. But I got more on here. Presents. Now here's what I'm going to do. One more thing before I go. I'm going to clean the face. I'm not going to do any eyes because, oh my goodness, I'm doing the same thing over and over again. I feel like, in fact, there's the video before this when I did the small hooded Santa. And so it's just one back and go forward. So I want to make sure he's tilted though. That's one of the reasons why I want to make sure, instead of just simply say, here you go, goodbye. Now I'm going to do this because this is going to go away instantly. But I want to make sure that kind of gets my bearings. Therefore, I want to make sure that my eyebrows are about the same, because I'm going to have to come back on that. Okay, first thing I like to do is, as I've mentioned a billion times with mine or anybody's rough out, there's the nose, about where I got that mark right now. That's where you want to cut. You don't want to cut here or halfway. You want to cut right at the bottom where it just starts to come down. That's where you cut. And of course that's going to be at an angle. Now I'm okay with this mustache. I'll adjust it because the mustache is moving according to the beard. So it's like the beard is winning in this case. A little more, you can go either not so much because you don't have to go too deep. I mean, the bit couldn't get in there, but the bit has given you a lot of wood for the nose. And I'll just start to clean just the nose, just to get that. I will adjust later. Right now, I just want to get the fur off the nose. Okay, I do have the beard relatively in. Now, the beard is going to come up a little bit. The mustache is going to come in like this. I'm also going to leave the beard up to you. Like I said, the last video I do show a different technique, and my other videos show the same technique, and you can even do, like I said before, you could this and say good enough. Same here. And I might do that to this here too. Just, I want this to be, yeah, a nice wood carving, but I still want the students or carvers to be able to finish this. And it's all the way around. I'm not going to get into it. Or you can use a flatter tool or rounder tool to whatever. The other ones, the one I've done before, I'll just do a little bit in the back here, is I'll take my number 11. No, I didn't. I took my number 9 and just did these scoops. This is a lot of people do this, but I've learned this from Carol Levy, Character Carver of America, one of her classes. So that's what I've done on some of them. Might as well. I've done that on my last carving. Go back one carving on my site here. And I want to do this. This is bothering me too. I want a bit of. And with that, let's do just a little bit here. I want to put this in here. As I did in the back. Now sometimes I've done a second one of these will do that, just on this one here. And there's also, when you get in there, it's just a little bit of a, I can't do that right now, but back here, just, like I said, just for fun, we'll do a second one. Let's see what I did is when I carved one and then I made a second one, I kind of bent it a little bit, gives a little more bend. Now I want to go in a little bit with the shoulder. Get the shoulder in there. Show a semblance of shoulder. Oops, where are you? There you are. Thought I lost it. Okay, I got sidetracked with little odds and ends. glad I took care of them for you. Now here we got to pencil this in. No, before we pencil it in, where's my number 9? About 8 mils. Like I said, about 8 mils. Let's put the nostril in. I want to put the nostril in wide. He's got a wide nose. Like I did with the last one, I put a lot of wood for the nose, so you can make it as wide and as thin as you want. Okay. Now I'm going to do a little bit of this upside down. And let me get it closer to the center. A lot of times you want to put the chisel down and pick up the knife because you don't want to pry. Now you could take, I'm going to take, so I'm going to let this rest. Here's my number 11. It's a larger 11. It's probably about 10, 12 mil. And as I mentioned before, I may have forgotten this time, is I do have my Stubai Scott collection. And I got the information below from Chris Willock. I got to remember that. The twist. Did the nose twist a little bit? Okay, so the nose got to twist a little bit this way. And this has got to not twist, not turn as much. Now I'm going to clean out the eye a wee bit. Now this has to be, since this is turned this way, this has to be up a little higher. Be a little lower. Okay, I'm glad. At least I got the eye started, even though it's not perfect or ready to put the eyes in now. But I do want to put this in because where's the nostril? Right here. Now this, even though there's a little turn, oops, this has to come down. Let's use my little chisel here. And this is straight up and down with the fins. Now be careful, we're coming to the edge and usually it breaks. I hate it when it does that. I'm going to do this here, starting here. I want to get it right up to the nostril. Now where we're still in the nose, before I go get to the rest here, I want to add this extra here, just another little extra, is this here. That's another extra. As you do it on this side here. There's a little nostril, but I think we still got to get too much here. Do as you wish. Do I get the nose bent too much now? If I want to keep the nose, I'm going to keep the nose. Then it has to go like this. Whoops. Then it looks good. Oh, it's all kinds of cleaning up, adjusting. So here, away from the cheek, about 20 degrees. Now here, about away from the, or onto the mustache, about, or not away from the cheek, it'd be in the cheek, 20 degrees, I'm sorry. And then about away into the mustache, about 30, 48 degrees. There's more because the cheek, obviously, let's clean this up, is going to be under the cheek. You want the cheek to come out, is what we want to do. And any other kinds of cleanup. Again, I am going to leave what you want to do with the beard and mustache to yourself. There is so many. Go online on my other, the last one I use my number 11. Others I use my knife, a little bit of chiseling. And like I said, I wanted a little bit of this, it up, if I can. I hope I didn't lose it. Not only do I want to turn because his head is tilted. Quite a bit of cleaning up. Oops, instead of last time I used my chisel, my knife to dig, now I'm going to use the chisel to dig. So many different ways to do the same thing. I think I took some wood off in there to make that nice and round. And there's quite a bit of adjustments to do here and there. Now I do want to do this before I leave you. I want to do this is you want to take, now it's difficult with the tree, it's better on the other side, of course, but what I want to do is I want to take as much of this off so it brings the face up from the beard. So instead of like grabbing a hold of the face and you pull, all right, but I'm okay with this because he's got that tree on him, so everything's gonna go against his face. This thing here needs a little more adjustment. I could see that this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem child here. All clean. Okay, let's put a little bit of mouth in there. He's ho-hoing and happy as a clam. He's happy as a clam in here. Where's my V? Depending on how big you want that mouth. But remember, it's a mouth, not a tongue. Now I'm going to take the side of my chisel again and clean it up this way. I could use my knife, but I like to at least once before I get my knife in there. All right, now what I'm going to do is you dig deep here. That's deep, 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 deep down. You push with the tip. You don't want to turn with that tip. Push with that tip. But in here, you want to be really careful. You want to turn. If you have to do a couple of swipes, that's fine because you don't want to break your tip. But we want to get in there. We want to get a nice big hole in his mouth so it's not a tongue. We want a ho-ho-ho mouth and not a Again, I'll leave that up to clean up. Excuse me. I will do one more. I've done this before, but I'll do one more. Let's put in, I'm going to show you how I put in the, sometimes I like to wait until I put the eye in before I put the elbow, the brow bone in. I can still adjust later. I like to put the eye in first. I do this, I cut this so it doesn't look like he's always angry. Still right here, so he's not angry. Any adjustments on the nose you need to make. Now we want to do a scoop, a nice, hopefully the tip will do it, a scoop. And I want to make that eyebrow nice and thin. In my other videos I have it nice and thick, but I want it nice and thin here. Am I still in? Now after, let's get this out of here. After I put the eye in, there's still a little bit about, on this side there'd be a scoop. I can't do that now until I get the eye in. I do like the eyebrow bone better this way. Well, that's where I'm going to leave it. You can, like I said, I've got the eyes. Beard you can do any way we want. You could, you know, however you want it. I think, other than, of course, the hair, beard, eyes, we are done. Now you can do something like this. I did get this started. I should have waited. That knife. I've been doing stuff like this because that puts a nice sharp. Not only sharp and open, pardon me. And then opens that right up. Now you could probably bring the hat down a little more, same with on the other side. See, even deeper. So it gives the impression that this is a separate piece. Because, well, it is. It flops down. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Here's what we got. As Lynn is getting a micro, come downstairs to do some more painting. I can't wait till Lynn puts the paint on this. This is going to really look good after I finish it. And of course you get to see it that way because you'll see the go-by picture. And there we are. Another one done.